Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Miss O Audiobk. Today I'll be doing chapter 7 of the 14 Goldfish. I hope you guys enjoy this, and let's get started. Chapter 7, Our Town. The public bus after school is crowded, and someone's been eating too much garlic. My grandfather has been complaining the whole way home. He's not a fan of middle school. He says it's boring and a waste of time, especially gym. But it's the textbook that has him really riled up. He waves his science book at me. Can you believe it? Not a word, not a footnote. Totally glassed over. What? I ask. Me, I should be in the book. The bus stops and kids shuffled off. My grandfather stares at the textbook. How can they not mention Cigarski? Probably because Cigarski is a quack, a voice behind us says. We turn around. It's the goth kid. He only takes the bus once in a while. He usually gets a ride from an older kid in a beat-up car. Quack? Oh, quack, my grandfather sputters. Who are you? The kid introduced himself. Raj. He looks at me. His long tuft of black hair flop over his forehead. I'm Ellie. Ellie Cruz. And this is my I started to say and stopped myself. My cousin, Melvin. My grandfather stares at Raj. What do you have against Cigarski anyways? My science teacher says it's quack like Cigarski that give real science a bad name. Bad name? Cigarski is a respected scientist, my grandfather protested. Raj struggled. Well, my teacher said he's just another in a line of trying looking for a foundation of youth. The bus brake squeals. This is our stop, I tell my grandfather, pulling him after me. I look at Raj. Nice to meet you. He nods. See you around. My grandfather glowers at him as he passes. Not if I have anything to say in a matter. I cast my lead, my mother announces when she walks into the kitchen. Let's order takeout to celebrate. We go to the drawer where she keeps menus and start rifling through them. How about Thai? Or Burmese, she suggested. Or there's a new Korean barbecue place. I've been dying to check that out. I don't eat any of that stuff, my grandfather said. If you tried, you might like it, she condoled him. A belligerent look crosses his face. I don't want to try it. I like Chinese food. It's reliable. You can walk into any Chinese food and know what you're gonna get. All this talk of Chinese food has made me hungry. I'll take a wonton soup, I said. My mother sighs. Fine, she said, and a little excitement goes out of her voice. When my mother returns from picking up the food, we settle in our stool of counter. My grandfather digs around his carton suspiciously. This doesn't look like the Mugu Gai pan I usually get. This looks spicy. You know I don't like spicy food, Melissa. It's regular old Mugu Gai pan, Dad, my mom says. My grandfather takes a bite, delivered a verdict. It's not spicy, he says. Good, my mother replies. I was really worried. He says. Did you ask for extra soy sauce? Yes, Dad, it's in the bag, she said, rolling her eyes at me. Well, in other news, the kids I cast as Emily and George are amazing. My grandfather head snaps up. You're doing Our Town? That show is a snooze. He's right. I've seen it before, and not much happens. It's basically just about those people who live in a small town called Groover Corners. My mom likes to stage it because it has a big cast, so a lot of kids can get a part. My mom started lecturing him like he's one of her students. Excuse me, but Our Town is quite possibly the best play ever written about the totality of human experience. Too bad it's boring, my grandfather snarks. You have no idea what you're talking about. It's an amazing play, and a hallmark of American playwriting. You just don't have any flair for drama. My grandfather yawns widely. The phone rings and I leap up to answer it. Bonjour, my dad said in a hearty voice. I take the phone into the hallway. Hi, Dad. How's it going? I'm tired of chasing Jean Valjean every night, but I'm not going to complain. He got the part of Javert in the touring production of Les Miserables. He's been on the road since August. The play is a big break for him, but it doesn't feel the same without him. My dad's the one who stayed home with me when I was little so that my mom could get her teaching degrees. He says trying to keep a toddler entertained was the best acting experience he have ever had. Where are you, I ask. Iowa City. Do they have a pool in the hotel? Yep, indoor. The toilet's been clogged up again, I tell him. My dad groans. I'll take a look when I swing back though. Even though he doesn't live here, he always takes care of house things for Mom. I miss you, I says. I miss you too, he says. My grandfather says something loudly and my mother shouts back, their voice carrying into the hall. Sounds like there's company, my dad says. Grandpa's over for dinner. Don't tell me you're having Chinese, he says in a dry voice. How did you know? My father snores over the phone. That old man never changes. I look back at my grandfather in the kitchen. He slumped in the chair, his long hair brushing his shoulder, his shirt hanging on his skinny body. I don't know about that, I said. That's the end of chapter 7. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Like, subscribe, share, comment. Yeah, I love you guys. Bye.